Okay, so in the great AI debate, it feels like everyone is arguing about ChatGPT Plus versus Gemini Advanced. But you know what? They're asking the completely wrong question. So in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise to figure out which tool is actually right for you.
And yeah, this quote, it really nails it. The internet is just obsessed with finding one single winner, crowning one king. But as we're about to see, that is a totally flawed way to look at these incredibly powerful tools.
I mean, check this out. This is the perfect example. I gave both of these models the exact same coding prompt. And look what happened. GPT 5.2 spit out this super robust production-ready backend code. Gemini, it built a user interface that was like 10 times better looking. Same prompt, totally different strengths. See? The question isn't who's better, it's who's better for what. So let's really break this down. We're going to look at where each model absolutely dominates, so you can stop wasting time and just pick the right one for your workflow. All right, first things first, let's meet the contenders and really get to the bottom of their core design philosophies, because they are very different. First up, you've got ChatGPT's engine, GPT 5.2. I want you to think of this one as the reliable engineer. Its entire design is all about professional knowledge work. This is the AI you trust with a critical business report or when you're debugging production code. You know, stuff where precision is everything. It even has different modes, from a super fast instant mode to a deep thinking mode for those really gnarly problems. And then in the other corner, we have Google's Gemini 3, the creative native. Now, its core philosophy is coming from a completely different place. Gemini was built from the ground up to be multimodal. That means it doesn't just handle text and then images and then video as separate things. No, it processes all of them together natively. And that right there is a huge distinction. And you can see that different philosophy right here in the specs. Just look at the context window. Gemini 3 can handle 1 million tokens. To put that in perspective, that's like feeding it several full-length novels in a single go. Now, GPT 5.2's 400,000 tokens is still massive, don't get me wrong, but if you're analyzing gigantic code bases or entire archives of documents, well, that difference is an absolute game changer. Now, let's get into the fight on paper. And look, while benchmarks never tell the whole story, they definitely reveal a really clear pattern of where each of these models' strengths lie. So take this test. It's got this great nickname, Humanity's Last Exam. It's basically a brutal gauntlet of PhD-level science and math problems. And right here, Gemini 3's pure reasoning ability gives it a really clear edge, scoring way higher without any help from external tools. But the story totally flips when we switch over to professional domains. Suddenly, GPT 5.2 just dominates the benchmarks that simulate real expert-level work. And that tool calling score, that is so critical. That's its ability to chain together complex actions, like using a calculator or running a piece of code. And at 98.7%, it's basically perfect. That's what you need for reliable automation. Meanwhile, Gemini 3's benchmark wins, well, they paint a picture of a totally different kind of genius. It just runs away with the vision benchmarks, hitting state-of-the-art scores in video comprehension. It tops the leaderboards in advanced math, and just like we saw, it excels at pure abstract reasoning. So the big takeaway from all this data is really a battle of precision versus perception. GPT 5.2 is optimized for the kind of precision you need for professional work. Gemini 3, on the other hand, is optimized for the perception required for advanced reasoning and for, just understanding our visual world. Okay, but enough with the numbers in the theory. Let's run a real-world gauntlet. We're going to give them identical prompts and just see how their core philosophies actually play out. So in our first head-to-head, we asked both of them to build a full-stack sales dashboard. And the results? Whoa. They were so different. GPT 5.2 gave us what you call enterprise-ready code. We're talking TypeScript, proper error handling, security comments. Gemini 3 delivered stunning visuals. I mean, a polished front end with these smooth animations, just perfect for a prototype. It's the engineer versus the designer, right there in the code. All right, next up, a test that sounds really simple. We showed both models an image of a hand, but with an anomaly. It had extra fingers, and we just asked them to count. Now, this simple test is designed to probe the fundamental architectural differences in how they see. And GPT 5.2's approach was just fascinating. It didn't just look at the image. Because it's a text-first model, it tried to reason its way to an answer by literally writing JavaScript code to analyze the picture. It fell back on its core strength, logic and code, but for a purely visual task, that whole process led it to the wrong answer. It's a thinker, trying to use tools to see. Gemini 3, though, it was the seer, because it was trained natively on images from day one. It just looked. It processed the visual information directly, spotted the anomaly, and boom, gave the right answer almost instantly. This one little test perfectly illustrates the power of its native multimodal architecture for any visual task you throw at it. So, with all that evidence on the table, let's finally get to the verdict. It's time for you to choose your champion for the right job. All right, here's the bottom line. You should be reaching for GPT 5.2. Anytime, reliability is just non-negotiable. Its biggest advantage is accuracy. It hallucinates about 30% less than older versions, so you can actually trust its answers more. For those really deep problems, its thinking mode adds a few seconds of wait time, but it's to ensure depth. And its whole ecosystem is right there in the powerful ChatGPT interface, which is perfect for these agentic tasks like running code or generating spreadsheets all in one spot. Now, you're going to choose Gemini 3 when your work is creative or visual or multimodal. It's the clear winner on creativity since its native training on video and audio lets it do almost magical things, like turning a quick sketch into a polished interface. It's also a bit snappier for simple to medium tasks. And this is a big one. If you already live inside the Google Workspace ecosystem, its deep integration into Docs, Gmail, and Drive is a massive, massive advantage. So there it is. It's not about one winner. It's about two specialized champions. You've got GPT 5.2 for precision and depth, and you've got Gemini 3 for creativity and breadth. The real power is knowing which tool to pick for the job. You have the verdict, so the only question left is, what are you